What's going on, chess lover? This is Maurice Bishop, and today I want to share with y'all the most craziest game I ever seen, like for real, man. And I'm gonna actually tell y'all who they are. Let me go back. All right, this is by the name of Fernando Visier Segovia versus Juan Rafael Betancort Curbelo. Obviously Fernando was playing white and Juan was playing as black, and this was back in 1968 and everything. So this is pretty old. I don't know anything about them at all or whatever. I just know that they was on one of the lists as one of the best Queen Sacrifice, in chess. This was actually on one of the sites, this was actually listed as #1, so it's pretty crazy. So without further ado, let's actually get started. All right. So the first move was e4 c5 knight f3 d6 d4 um c catches d4 knight catches d4. As y'all can see, this is the Sicilian defense. This is like the Niger variation. Um, knight f6 is played. Knight c3. I'm sorry, this is the not in this sequence is the Niger variation. A6 is played, bishop c4, e6, and bishop b3. Now, there are some stages where um after bishop c4, y'all usually get the b5 and then the bishop b3 and then the e6. So I'm familiar with that sequence as well. But in this situation, e6 was played first. So and then of course on white just go bishop b3, already anticipating his b5 move. So I've seen a lot of this before. But bishop b7 is played, bishop b3, protecting the knight on d4, but also just developing as well. I'm sorry, I'm moving too fast. Black castles on king side, and then queen e2, and then bishop d7, and then castle queen side. As y'all can see, this is kind of powerful because you have this rook on his d file and everything, so it's looking pretty nice. And plus white is like pretty much fully developed. He just got to get this rook in here, but white is looking pretty good. B5 is played. A3, want to stop this B4 push or whatever. But also, if y'all know about, opposite kingside castle, this A3 can also become a weakness too. Especially if the queen comes to A5 and then rook C8. Usually these type of variation, usually the black rook on C8 will sacrifice on a C3, and it becomes very dangerous, especially because the bishop E7 is on this long diagonal as well. So it gets pretty crazy though. Um, so in this one, Queen C7 was actually played. And I am kind of not a fan of Queen C7 because you kind of block this rook from, maybe sacking on C3. And it's very, and I'm gonna tell you something, it's very effective when this pawn is on A3. Very effective when this pawn is on A3. Which is why, but I know this is old too. This is like back in 1968. But usually with black, normally somebody probably would just go Queen A5 and then bring Rook C8 over and then sack on Rook catcher C3. It's just crazy though. But anyway, Queen C7 is played. King B1. Um, Also, I was doing some analysis with even with my chess computer. Instead of King B1, I kind of like F4. Only reason why I like F4 because I kind of like this whole G4 push. In other words, I give you something else. So like Rook FC8, right? G4, B4, then A catches B4. Um, the thing about this though, and this is what I'm talking about. Uh, with black though, because of that A3 was on there, I really couldn't figure out. I mean, white is still good. I mean, it's not white is still good. It's just that it becomes an issue when this A3 pawn is there, and I just hate it. And now that this rook is already on the C file too, what I didn't like about it is once B4 is pushed and then you got A5, um white doesn't have to take. He could go b5, but then you get stuff like a4. So it doesn't matter what you do or whatever. You can push back to bishop a2 or whatever, and then black is still just going to push the pawn just to open up your king side even more. This is kind of like one of these attacking techniques or whatever. Um, and even if you take with the knight or whatever, it doesn't matter because then you got knight captures e4. Now I'm not saying white is totally bad or whatever, but the only thing I can really say is white is not bad, but white is bad. For real, I don't. I would feel uncomfortable playing this as white. I'm just being honest with y'all because of this a pawn, this a3 pawn. Yeah, man, I'm not a fan of it, man. It's just I don't like it at all, man. I just really don't. But that's like I said, I don't want to jump the gun, man. That's a whole different another game that I can show y'all and stuff. But I'm not a fan of it. Of the a3 at all. But anyway, King B1 was played, and then Knight C6, G4, Rook A to C8 or whatever. So it looked like Black, I mean, doing okay or whatever, things like that. Um, but also in this position, I feel like Black is not really attacking like he should in his position. Um, like I said, I would have thought maybe Rook at C8, or maybe start sacrificing pawns to open up the queen side. That's how you do it. But like I said, this is 1960 something. But I know there's a lot of strong people during that time that probably do some moves like that. But like I said, I don't know. But G4 was played. E5 is played, and then knight catches C6. Now I'm not sure why, but I kind of like knight F5. Because knight F5, I just liked it. Because then, even if the bishop takes, you can open up this G5 by taking with the G pawn, and then bring this rook on the G file. And then if he decides to go G6, well, that's good for us because then we can start using that as a target. Because now we'll create dark square weaknesses and stuff. So I was just thinking like that. I don't want to get into too much of the variations and everything, um, but I just kind of like knight f5. But anyway, bishop catches c6, g5 is played, knight catches e4, knight catches e4, and bishop catches e4. So as y'all can see, bishop catches e4. He got this short diagonal on his light square colors and everything, which is pretty good. And then rook hg1, e catches f4, bishop catches f4, bishop g6, h4. As you can see, he's guarding his or making his g5 pawn stronger by defending it. But also we have this h5 push, which is also what we love. Rook f to e8, h5 is played. Then bishop captures g5. Now I'm telling y'all, look at this board. Oh my goodness, y'all, this is crazy, y'all. This is very, very, very crazy. Moment of silence, y'all. Moment of silence. After bishop captured g5, my dude went h captured g6, man. Sacrifice the whole queen, y'all. This is not a short queen sacrifice where you do a queen sacrifice, you find mate. Nah, it's not like that at all. But this is just beautiful, man. H captures g6, rook catches e2, right? E catches f7 check. The dude goes king h8, right? And then he don't go rook captures g5 yet. He doesn't do that yet. He goes bishop captures d6 first. And then his opponent goes queen c6 and then rook captures g5. Now, I did look at what happened if rook captures g5 first. So when I looked at this, it was kind of like rook captures g5, rook captures c2, and then rook f5. Because the thing is, you don't want to take this rook because obviously, like for instance, if bishop captures, then queen captures c2, then black is going to win this game because now you're going to lose your rook on d1. So you don't want to do that move, which is why rook f5 was played and everything. Because right now he's starting to checkmate with pawn f8 with a check, and then obviously if the rook captures, then rook captures f8 checkmate. So if he goes rook f8 and everything, then you got bishop captures d6. Cause now just think about it. So what you gonna do now though? So it's not that you could go queen captures d6 now because you got rook captures d6, and then if you go rook c1 check, then you could just go you could just pretty much go king a2. You know what I mean? And if you go king a2, you go rook captures d1, and then bishop captures c7. And even if, like I said, even if you decide to go rook capture or queen captures d6, we're gonna go rook captures d6. It doesn't matter. But you're gonna want to take this because obviously, we're about to promote this thing, promote this pawn. If we get this rook out the way, so you gotta sacrifice that and then go bishop captures queen, and then after rook d7, you got bishop a5, and this is pretty much over for black because our position is like too strong, especially after you hit with bishop b4. It's just amazing. But anyway, y'all, queen c6 is played, right? Then rook captures g5, right? Rook captures c2, again, trying to threat the, bishop captures c2 and then queen captures c2, check, winning the rook. That's what he was trying to do. But he does an amazing move. Bishop e5, threatening to checkmate on g7, right? So then rook c1 check. Of course, white is not going to he's not going to take this rook because then queen captures c1 check, and then he'll be taking his rook off on g5, which is why white just goes to king a2. So after king a2, his opponent went queen a6 because kind of like the only way you could really defend this checkmate on g7, as you can see. And then he does rook catch g7, but the crazy part is the move that would have been like even more crazier would have been rook capture c1. Now that would have been a crazier move because now you can't go rook capture c1 because we're threatening mate on f8, and you can't go queen capture g5 because a rook capture c8, which is will also be checkmate. And it's just so many threats in this game. It's just like crazy, y'all. Like y'all gotta look at this game. Y'all gotta like really look at it and analyze it. Like this stuff is crazy, man. Um, but yeah, but the dude goes rook catcher g7, queen catcher g7, and then he does something else, man. This guy is something else, man. He goes rook catcher c1, y'all. Look what he's doing, y'all. Look what he's doing. He goes rook catcher c1. The queen can't take this bishop because of rook captures c8. The rook can't even take this thing. For instance, if he goes rook captures c1, then you have the pawn f8 checkmate because the queen can't take because the bishop is pinned. Like this is like crazy. Like it's like nothing that black can do. Like he's thinking that he gonna exchange pieces. Doesn't even exchange. He don't even take no pieces. He just go and do what he gotta do. So, but rook f8 is played because he had to stop this from being checkmate. And then look at, oh my goodness, y'all. Look at what this guy does, man. He goes rook g1. Like, tell me that ain't crazy, y'all. Please tell me that is not crazy. He can't go queen captures g1 because the bishop is pinning him. And he can't go queen captures e5 because of rook g1. If he takes, then this gets a queen checkmate because the bishop is supporting this queen. Like, come on, y'all. Like this, yo, this is fire, y'all. This is fire, y'all. Like for real. This is, this is just crazy, man. Like I just don't get it, man. This is just crazy as heck. And then even with the guy, he goes rook catches f7. He goes rook catches f7, and he just still takes it anyway. Again, the queen can't take this bishop. The queen can't take this rook because the bishop is pinning this queen. And if he decides to go queen captures e5, he got rook g8 checkmate. This is just game over. Like this, oh my god, yo! Like I'm telling y'all, this is probably one of my favorite games of all time, man, so far. Because like I've never seen nothing like that. Like he tried to exchange and couldn't even exchange at all. It just, yo, man, it just But y'all, man, I hope y'all really enjoyed this video. I hope y'all even enjoyed this game. This game was crazy. This game was fire, yo. So if y'all like this video, please like, please share, please comment. Let me know what y'all think in this video. Let me know what you think on the analysis. If y'all found any other new thing that was in this game, man, definitely comment below or whatever, things like that. If y'all have any other amazing games, y'all, that y'all want me to do a video on or do analysis on, definitely, man, comment below or send it to my email. Do whatever y'all gotta do. And also, do me one last favor, y'all. Don't forget to subscribe, y'all. Do not forget to subscribe. And if y'all subscribe to me, put your notifications on because I'm always posting some content. I'm always posting something great, y'all. All right. Again, y'all, have a nice day and also be safe. All right, y'all. Peace.